The conference has been unmuted.
All right, good morning, everyone. So it's getting close to the hour that we'll be beginning, so we're going to go ahead and just give people a couple minutes to kind of linger in, and then we'll get started a little bit after 12. All right, guys, thanks everyone for joining. It is 12 now. We will give it a couple more minutes just to let the last couple of people hop on the call, and then we'll go ahead and get started with our community engagement webinar today.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for joining, everyone. All right, so I think we'll go ahead and get started now. So we are going to be discussing community engagement events. Keep in mind this is going to be an open discussion, so we will love it if you guys chime in and let us know some of your experiences. With that being said, I will go ahead and let Gabriella go ahead and get started.
Hi, everyone. This is Gabriella. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you for taking some time out of your day to join us. We really appreciate it. We all know how super busy you are, so it's great that you could join us today. Like Maria said, this will be a little different than what we've done in the past. It's more of an open discussion, so feel free to contribute with your own stories. If you have any advice or ask questions, it's very open and casual. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start talking about events. We'll go through the type of events you should be looking to attend, as well as some fun booth setup ideas, and then how you evaluate a show's success. Can everyone see the next screen? I just want to make sure I did it right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Perfect. So as far as the type of events you should be attending, when researching, look for events within your territory that are going to be well attended by your target audience, meaning you wouldn't necessarily look for the music festival where there's going to be a lot of young adults who aren't necessarily homeowners yet, or they may be a very large, popular event in your area that seems like a great idea, but you'll come to realize that a lot of people attending are going to be from out of town, so you're not going to find any homeowners in your area. And then it's also great to look for events that have the opportunity to exhibit, so you get a booth space and you have a tabletop to set up and whatnot, so you can hand out information and meet potential customers that way. Type of events are the industry events like Home and Garden or the home remodeling larger trade shows, the chamber business expos, local community events like family fun days or festivals and fairs, if you have any town anniversaries or something like that where you know a lot of people from the community are going to come out and support the town. Outdoor dog events for those of you that are promoting Yard Armor are great to get to. Farmers markets, vendor markets, and then also with sponsorship opportunities, you'll find that, let's say you're sponsoring a baseball team, a youth baseball team, sometimes they'll allow you to, one weekend set up a table and hand out information. So that's also a great way to, get two things. You get a sponsorship out of that, and then also an event where you can meet, families and, the parents of the kids that you're really trying to target them as customers. Okay, so I'm just going to open this up for discussion now. Do you find some types of events are more successful than others? Do you prefer the larger home shows versus the smaller community days? Is there an event that seemed far-fetched that turned out to be a success, like an Easter egg hunt or a chili cook-off, something that was a little bit off the beat but turned out to be great? And then also I'll ask, for those of you who haven't been to an event yet, are you hesitant about certain events? Are you, more likely to want to go to the industry events because you think that the home and garden shows are more on target? So feel free to answer one question, answer both, ask your own question. It's really an open discussion.
Maria here. I will just chime in, kind of touching base on, the home and garden shows. We typically have found that the smaller shows do better. One, it's going to be more people in your actual territory. I think the time that it is good to do the larger home shows is if you have maybe multiple lawn doctor franchises in your area, kind of like Amato and the Plymouth territory. You guys have been, there's a lot opening there, so you have more of a robust amount of people there, so it would be maybe beneficial if you guys all did one of the larger shows together, so just something to keep in mind there.
Yeah, that's a good point, Maria. And this is Jay. I'll jump in also. So we definitely have seen a transition to these smaller, sometimes it's, half-a-day Saturday type events. It takes a lot less time, and you end up maybe meeting less people, but a higher percentage of potential customers that are in your territory. And the other things, too, that you can do if there is no particular event, kind of create one. Maybe there's, the homecoming game at, local high school. Maybe you can set up a little table in the parking lot. You have the band there, your vehicle there, giving out some premium items, pens, whatever, branded water bottles, and if the school lets you do it, maybe you make a donation to the football program or something for giving you the space to do that. So you can sort of create your own pop-up event, as it were, if there's, just not something that's evident or obvious for you to participate in.
And I also wanted to bring up that if you know that there's going to be like a really large event in your community that a lot of people are attending, but there is no opportunity to have a booth space, it's always great, of course, to attend the event, wear your lawn doctor gear, make sure that you park the van there, and just get to know the community that way. Walk around, introduce yourself, hand out your business cards. You can even have some flyers on hand and whatnot, just so that even though you don't have a space, a booth there or a table, your presence is there and you're getting out in front of the community.
I'll chime in a little. This is Amy. I feel like we've been on a blitz. We kind of took every show. So we started with the bigger one. It's not the biggest in the area, but it was a 3-day, long days kind of thing, and it was good because we had a lot of energy. But now we're doing the little bit shorter ones, and the shorter ones are great because it's almost like when you have a 3-day event that's widely attended, it's almost, some people are just coming to get out for the day and not so much targeted audience. Whereas these smaller events, people are there to see what there is to offer. Most of the time we've been the only lawn care at each one of the smaller ones, and you're having quality conversations, which was those have worked out pretty good for us when we've reflected. One of the things we did that helped us narrow it down was after the first one, we had, almost 100 people to call from the raffle tickets, and that was exhausting and tough. And then so by round 2, we put little garage sale stickers on the ones where we had a meaningful conversation, where they showed a real interest, so that we knew to prioritize them afterwards. So that was a really helpful thing that we kind of figured out after our 6th show here, or whatever it is now.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Amy. And you're not planning on slowing down, right? You can just keep doing that, I'm hoping.
No. I got one tomorrow, and I've got one the following week, and 2 weeks after that, and then 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, and thanks, Amy, for sharing that. Cannot stress enough how vital being in your community, getting everyone to know who you are, being visible, and to play such a critical role in not only the long-term success of your business, but getting out of the gates quickly. I think the goal for everybody when they start a business, right, is to get to profitability as quickly as possible, and this is one of the best ways you can do that.
Okay. I just want to say one more thing before we move on to the next topic, but it's good to keep in mind when researching events or signing up for events, take into consideration what your objective is or what your goal is or what you want to get out of the event, because these larger industry events like the bigger home and garden shows are great because, maybe it's harder to focus on lead acquisition or gaining customers at those events because they're so much larger and there's a lot more foot traffic, but those are great for gaining brand awareness and exposure and getting your name out there. And then the smaller local community fairs are where you really get to focus on, getting the customers and the leads. And then also these Chamber of Commerce, they're great for networking, and maybe you're not necessarily getting in front of the community, but they're great opportunities to build B2B relationships, which ultimately, will down the line can be great also for gaining customers. So it's good to get a good mixture of the different types of events that you're attending. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is, fun ways for you to stand out amongst everybody else. One good idea is to always try to bring your equipment, the turf tamer. It's a great talking piece, but of course make sure you have permission first. There's usually a lot of rules and regulations that follow with bringing equipment, but I found that 9 out of 10 times they do let you. You just have to ask first and get permission. Make your booth stand out with either an activity, a contest, or promotion, which is usually why we suggest to do the Win the Free Lawn Care raffle. Definitely important to make it easy for people to leave their contact information, whether it's, business cards in a fishbowl or, those raffle entry form cards. You should always, if anybody is interested in walking by your booth, you have to make sure you always get their contact information because, after the event, you're never going to remember. So you need to have their email address, their first name, last name, a phone number, and also, jot down what they were interested in. If they were talking about, like a lawn care maintenance program, or if they're only interested in weeds, like Amy said, like put the star or something, write down, what they're interested in, or if they were very interested or not so much, so you'll know how to manage your leads after the show. And then take advantage of that grab-and-go mindset. People are, at these larger trade shows, they're just trying to, get in and out. Always give away a promo item with your contact information or a flyer so that they know how to reach you after the fact. We're just going to go through a couple pictures. These are pictures of what you guys have all sent me, so if you see your face up here, don't be alarmed. This is, a nice setup of a home and garden show. We've got the green carpet, so we're definitely, on trend with the Lawn Doctor look, and then also the turf tamer in here, so that's a great talking piece. Next, I believe this was another home and garden show. We've got the equipment, and then also to the right here, you'll see they did a prize wheel to win some of the promotional items. I thought this one was great because the use of a TV, I think, would be would be awesome if you could put, do a slideshow of some before and after pictures. It's very, such a good idea to bring people in your booth, and then you can show them your work. This is what it looked like before, and this is how great Lawn Doctor made it. This was a larger event. It looks like a 20-foot booth. They went with a bigger space. They kind of made it more of an outdoor backyard feel, so I thought that was a fun way to decorate the booth. This looks like it's a community day, but I just wanted to point out these events that you go to, these that are, like the festivals or fairs or something that's geared towards having kids. It's great to have a kid-friendly activity at your booth because, if the kids are stopping by, then obviously the parents are stopping by, and those are the ones you want to be talking to. So just to give the kids something to do while you talk to the parents is great. I think this one they did little Dixie cups, and then they got a pot of soil so they can plant flowers, which I thought was nice. And then another home and garden with the promo prize wheel. And then also you'll see that they did a show promotion, so sign up today and receive a restaurant gift card. So it is also a good idea to do something specific to the day of the show, a show promotion where they have to sign up, or they could either, schedule the lawn evaluation that day or something, and then they get some sort of prize or whatnot. So now we'll open this up to the floor. What are some things you've done to stand out at your booth? Any unique games or promotional items, activities? Have you ever tried selling at the events? Were you successful? Any tips on how to juggle selling and working the booth at the same time? How do you interact with your guests or first introduce yourselves? How do you collect leads? Any other creative ways besides the raffle entry card? So this is really about, anything you want to talk about as far as the day of the event goes. Any tips and tricks to get people into your booth or how you talk to customers?
Okay, so we've got a quiet group today, don't we? And for some people, this might come naturally. They might be comfortable at it. For others, maybe not so much. But things that will attract people. I mean, anytime you walk around your booth area, you make eye contact with folks, try to draw them in. But if you're going to have actual things at the booth that are going to kind of do that for you or help you do that, any kind of premium items, pens, magnetic calendars, that kind of thing. Bowl of candy usually will get people to walk over, but you can also have a little game. And Maria, I don't know if anybody would have seen or we would have talked about these during the openings, but it's like the cornhole game where you have to toss the bean bag and try to get it into the holes. You can have little mini ones made up that you can have at the booth that people can. If there's something to kind of draw people in, something that will get their attention, raffle off some prizes. A raffle is also a great thing to do because you can say, hey, we're going to, pull the ticket and announce the winner at X time, and that sort of will encourage folks to come on back to your booth at that time as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely, touching base on all of that, I really do like the interactive kind of activities. If you're able to do those, I really like the idea of, having the kids plant a flower in a Dixie cup. So just kind of keep that in mind, make it interactive to where people want to kind of hang around there and they want to be there. So if any of you guys have any other ideas that maybe you have done, feel free to, let us know. And you don't have to let us know now. I mean, you guys are really good at sharing information with each other anyway, so just make sure you guys are always doing that.
The other thing I just throw out there that we've had some success with, if your sort of grand prize raffle is going to be free lawn care for the season, that's not uncommon to do. It's a great way to get a lot of leads, a lot of folks putting their information down, and then you do draw the winning ticket, as it were, at some point. That might not necessarily be when you would do it the show, but you would draw the winning ticket. Let that homeowner know, hey, congratulations, you've won, and give them that prize. But it's a great opportunity to reach out to everybody else that entered and let them know, hey, sorry you didn't win, but as a consolation prize, we're going to offer you X, and then you can promote something or offer some sort of discount So it's a great reason to reach back out to everybody if you needed to, if they haven't already had a follow-up conversation.
Okay, do we want to move on? We'll move on. And then the last thing I just want to talk about is post-event follow-up and how to evaluate the success of a show. And I just wanted to talk about this a little bit so that next year, when you have to plan the events that you want to go to, you'll know if something you did this year was worth going to again. You don't want to sign up if, you got one lead out of it or something like that. But if it did, benefit you, you might consider signing up again. So how do you follow up on your leads? And then Jay had just mentioned it. For anyone who didn't win the raffle, just send a thank you along with maybe a consolation prize, like, sorry you didn't win, but we'll come out and do this, or a free soil enrichment or something like that. And then also, what do you consider a successful event? Is it lead acquisition or is it brand awareness? Is there an exact number of leads that you consider to be a good event? Is it 10, 20, 30? Or is it based off of how many of those leads actually turned into customers? And then just a friendly reminder, always post on Facebook before and after the event. Take pictures during for social media posts, so we can add that to your website. It's great, to show the community and anybody who follows you on Facebook where you're at that weekend or that you were there. So does anyone have any questions, concerns regarding events? Some of you on here have done a whole bunch, and some of you are just starting out where you might be going to either your first event this weekend or, if there's any questions you have, just, now's the time.
One thing I will throw out there, guys, is when you do go to these events and you do get leads, when you're entering in your lead sources, make sure that you're being very specific with the event. Don't just have one event bucket. Separate it by the events you actually go to. So then at the end of the year, you can see which events actually produce the most leads and produce the most customers, and then you can know which events to target in the future.
Okay, so I guess we'll just wrap this up. If anybody has anything else to say, feel free. But we'll keep this short and sweet. We just want to say we have a new thing happening soon. So you guys on here, you're the first ones to know. We're starting something called the Ground Game Challenge. And so for this particular category for events, you'll get 1 point for every event that you participate in from January, so we'll backtrack, until September. I think, Jay, did you want to push this to October?
Yeah, I mean, if we can, yeah. So first I go up over your third slide, and then I don't answer you. I think that, if we feel like there's some benefit to it, then definitely let's give everybody a little bit more opportunity to get some points.
Okay, so we're going to do 1 point for every event that you attend from January, and I guess we'll change that to October so we could, push that out a little bit. And then we're going to have different categories, which we will reveal shortly. But it's basically, we're going to be tallying up all your points, and then there will, of course, be some prizes to win.
Yes, there will be some prizes. So what we're going to kind of do, you guys, is your points are going to be tallying up throughout the year. Again, there's going to be different ground game challenges that will have to do with each webinar or open discussion that we may have. So we'll kind of give you guys some more information on that as well. But just keep in mind there will be prizes that will happen throughout the year, and then there will be a grand prize at the end of the year, which will be revealed shortly as well. That will kind of do a drum roll for the grand prize for you guys. But just keep an eye on all of that information. If you are going to events, of course, Gabriella knows about it, so she'll be letting me know what points to add. Like she said, we will go ahead and backdate it as well, so any events you've already attended, we'll go ahead and give you a point or a point for the ones that you've already gone to. So just something to keep in mind. Start going to those events if you haven't already started. Definitely get on that ground game challenge.
Yeah, so Maria, rumor I'm hearing is that grand prize may be worth several $100s. Any truth to that?
I mean, that's the rumor. I cannot confirm or deny yet, but I'm kind of confirming that, yeah, it's worth a lot. So just something to keep in mind, you guys. If anyone has any questions about the events or doing events, feel free, of course, to reach out to anyone on the ramp team, especially Gabriella. She's the one who takes the lead on that. Also, make sure you're reaching out to your peers as well. If you guys have ideas, make sure to share them. If you have questions, reach out to your peers. They're the ones who are out there doing it with you, so make sure to do that. Any questions for today? Any maybe last tidbits anyone wants to throw in? Speak now or forever hold your peas.
I am curious what photos people take, and I feel like I'm taking a picture of us in front of the same booth over and over again. What would be engaging for maybe the website or social media more than just the same picture almost reposed,
Picture of the person who won the raffle.
Yeah, I would take pictures of people as well. If you can get pictures with customers that are there. If you end up announcing the raffle while you're at the booth, maybe take a picture with the winner. I think those would be a couple of good ideas. Anything else you think, Jay or Gabriella?
No, I think that's the key would be, just pictures of you interacting with, customers or potential customers. That's probably the number one thing I'd be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well, if anyone does have any additional questions, feel free to email, call. We're happy to answer them. We will go ahead and let you guys go for the last 5 minutes. We'll give that back to you. I appreciate everyone joining today. Keep an eye out for follow-up emails as well. I hope you guys have a good Friday.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.